The first thing you need to have in your character is self-control. You see, a life of favor, having favor come into your life, begins with refusing to flirt with the forbidden. The Hebrew word for integrity just means whole. It means sound and unimpaired. The Apostle Paul told Timothy, in the midst of great conflict and in tremendous persecution against this church, this young pastor had to face off with all of these things. And in 1 Timothy 4, verse number 16, the Apostle Paul said this. He said, keep a firm grasp on both your character and your teaching. Don't be diverted. He said, just keep at it. Both you and those who hear you will experience salvation. Don't give up your character. The second thing you need to have in your life, not only self-control, but you need to understand compliance. How to be amicable. How to actually be flexible. How to be a person who wants to fit in. See, our society will not last as long as what you and I continue to do is we just continue to buck against it. When we decide we don't want to obey the law, when we decide what we want to do is we want to break all of the cultural mores, what will happen will be is that you and I will end up without character, and then there'll be utter pandemonium in everything that we do. Compliance is so important in an individual's life. What does compliance mean? Compliance is just conformity to what is required. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to have changes in our society, because we really do. But one thing that we don't need is we don't need a bunch of rebels running around, destroying cities, blowing up churches, setting things on fire, rioting, doing all of these things in order for us to just have this civil unrest. Do you understand what the civil unrest is all about? I may not know what it is completely about, but I can tell you this, it's going to destroy the society that you and I have. I was talking to a man on the phone this morning, and really, it wouldn't surprise me if the gentleman was a billionaire. I wouldn't be surprised by it. But as we were speaking about things, he told me about how much that he loved America, that he and his mother in his teenage years had come to the United States, and he loves the United States, and oh, psst, he was an African American. He didn't have any privilege. He wasn't born into it, because that's a farce. And you need to get that out of your vocabulary and out of your mindset. It's the mindset that determines the outcome of a person's life. Compliant. I want to comply. I want to fit in. I want to go up the ladder. I want to show the rest of life all of the goodness that has been shown to me. I want to make an opportunity for other people to be able to go up that ladder just like I did, to go from poverty into blessing, to go from a place where they have none to where they have more than enough. I want to show an individual how to do that. I want to show them how that, although that their life was filled with challenges and problems, and how that there actually can be the trade-offs that are made that are good trade-offs, so that they could end up in a place where they had lived their life as a blessed person. And you do that by compliance, and that's part of an individual's character. You see, the proof of love, if I really love this nation, the proof of love is the willingness to comply. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that what I do is I comply to all of the things that are going on in our government and in the marketplace. It doesn't mean that. It means that what I'll do is I will expel and I will spend the amount of energy that's necessary in order to be able to change it within the guidelines that have been given to us by the forefathers of our nation, the same way that I uphold the Word of God and the guidelines that were set down by God's written Word. I'm not trying to find out what I can do. I'm just trying to find out what keeps me within God's good graces and not looking to do the things that are allowed, but actually looking to do the things that I must.